So my name is Anil Mehta. I am a PhD in high-performance networking, and I design protocols for the next generation networks. So if you hear about Internet of Things or the voice over IP infrastructure, big data, so I design protocols for that. And as you can tell, there are a lot of new companies that are coming in that sector. I teach in different schools as well. And for me, what's important is that there should be a freedom to operate, for not just at the business level, but also at personal level. There is a lot of cross-pollination of ideas, and it's very intertwined when we talk about the next generation network, Web 2.0, and even further than that, we're talking Internet of Things. All the innovation that's happening right now in terms of location services, etc., is built upon the global positioning system and GLONASS and other global satellite systems that were developed in the 80s and the 90s. So we are using innovation from the previous generation, and that has been applied to solve problems like restaurants or other sort of location-based services. So a lot of times what happens is non-compete clauses, the companies believe that their intellectual property is completely unique and diversified, but reality is that it's built upon a lot of previous innovations that have been done by other people. I do support the concept of intellectual property protection. I think if a company is putting in resources and people who are coming up with ideas and new technology, they should get the benefit of that. But I do also believe that it's overstepped a little bit, and the non-compete clause, although good in its inception, sort of becomes a prohibitive factor for innovation, and that's actually not acceptable because people like me, for instance, if I am, and I haven't had that in my life, and I don't anticipate it, but somebody like me could potentially be in a situation where they have research done at one end and then go somewhere else and not be able to work because only because they have signed documents. So I think poaching, when I say poaching, I mean trying to get another company's ideas. That's not cool, but if somebody is working in one concept somewhere, comes up with new ideas and then goes and works in another place, that should be allowed as long as they're not using the intellectual property developed at that previous location, previous company. And this is important too because as a researcher, when you work on ideas, you grow yourself, and these type of clauses, when strictly written, they don't allow the personal growth that people like me have gone through to flourish at another place. They don't allow that. So I think there's a reform required. And 2 years or whether 5 years, or what's the non-complete clause? I think that's important to discuss that. It should be less. I think it should be 2 years or less. But I think more important is to discuss, narrow down the innovation, narrow it down so that we don't just say everything in computer networks. That's too broad. If somebody's working with someone, it should be narrowed down to what they are doing in order to protect that company and also allow individuals to move freely and do research. So that's my take on it.